This is probably such a weird thing to be excited about, but look at this. Hey Siri, turn on Charlie's bedroom lights.
Okay, the lights are on.
I just think that's so cool. But obviously now I'm in darkness, so you can't see me. But yeah, we're gonna have to fix this in 3, 2, 1. There we go. It's not the best lighting, I will give it that, because the main lights that I have are like 2 big soft boxes, but they're currently down in my apartment in Sligo, which is like my college apartment. And because I'm at home due to the whole isolation thing, and Sligo's actually about an hour away, and we're meant to be staying within like a 2-kilometer radius as of now anyway. So because of that, I cannot go down and pick up my lights, which is annoying because it means I just have to use lighting like this. Or if I wanted to, I could use daylight, but it would just be too harsh. And actually I think this looks good. I've kind of tweaked the settings a bit to try and make this look not so harsh, because the sun is splitting the rocks right now here in Ireland, which is good, but it just means that the daylight is like very, very harsh. And yeah, but I think this looks okay as of now. But yeah, I hope you're all keeping well, hope you're all keeping positive, being productive with the time that we do have. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about aspects of videos that I used to overlook as a beginner, and now that I've kind of come to realizing how important they are, I don't know, I just feel like I kind of want to talk about it a bit, because I guess now is as good a time as any to kind of sit down and talk about this kind of stuff, because I'm not able to go out and, you know, like make the regular kind of videos that I do make, the whole going out getting photos, meeting people, all that there stuff. Can't do that right now, which sucks, but hopefully I will be able to do it again soon. So we're going to be talking about different aspects of video that are really important. Rule number 1, get a decent haircut. This is just not cutting it. No matter how many times I shower, no matter how much I try to look after my hair, it just goes out of control so quick, and I cannot wait to get to the barber after all this is over and get a proper trim. But yeah, all jokes aside, there are many different aspects of filmmaking or making videos that are so important, as with photography. Things such as lighting, sound design, composition, you know, what's in your frame, what's not in your frame, what's out of focus, what's in focus. It's actually quite ironic because lighting is one of them, and I'm using one of the, like, the lighting in this video is probably everywhere. Yeah, I have to do with what I have. So what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about sound design, sounds, noises, things you hear. I don't know why I'm explaining this. You obviously know what sound is, but do you know how to incorporate sounds into your videos, you know, like properly, to create like a different atmosphere or a different feeling? By the way, I will just say that this is all coming from personal experience, what I've learned and what works for me. By no means is this the right way. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are looking at me like, what is he talking about? It's probably the wrong way, but this just works for me. This is what I do, and hopefully some of you will resonate with it. And then yeah, so when I first started making like sequences or like cinematic videos, I think it was probably maybe about 2 or 3 years at this stage when I started, you know, wanting to create these better looking sequences, put a bit of effort into them, started color grading. Obviously my first ones were absolutely dog shit, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. Currently scrolling through Instagram to see if I can find one of the first sequences I put together. I have an idea of what it is, but I kind of want to just make sure. It was around 2 years ago when I was living with Michael the first time. I've actually taken some nice photos along the way, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like some of my posts. Okay, so I found it and we're gonna watch this together. So let's just see what this is like. Probably not the worst one out there, but when I look back at this now, I'm like, oh my god, I've actually learned so much. I'm able to do so much more just through practice and just looking up things, learning how to do it, and just getting a whole feel for it. And there's another one that I'm trying to think of, but back at that time, and this is kind of another whole aspect of, or things to do as a filmmaker or photographer, is to save your work. Back then, I did not save my work, which was just the stupidest thing I could have ever done. So now a lot of those old videos, a lot of those old photos, especially from like my holidays with my family, are gone completely, which is a bummer. But again, it's kind of a lesson that I had to learn, because now I save everything. I back up everything to hard drives, different memory cards, keep them in specific places, so at least now I know exactly where to find them. So if I say I need a footage from my trip to Turkey last year, boom, hard drive 1 or something like that there. Like, I know where everything is. But going back to that, in those videos, I used to just put music over it, add the clips, maybe 1 or 2 transitions. I didn't really have any like structure to it. I kind of just put everything together. But the big thing is that I use no sound design, which is just a big no-no in filmmaking or videography, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, adding sound design to your videos will bring it to the next level. It will just create a whole feeling to it. It'll make you feel as if you're there, which is what, as a filmmaker, you want for your audience. You want them to resonate with it, and without sound design you just won't be able to replicate that feeling, or you won't be able to achieve it, which is just not good. You could have the best looking sequence in the world, you know, it could be full of transitions, full of amazing clips, different angles, everything, but if it has no sound design, it's not going to stand on its own. It's not going to have that same impact on the viewer, which is vital for this kind of work or this kind of field. Just to prove my point, I made a sequence about 4 weeks ago at this stage, maybe towards the first week or 2 in isolation. It's only about 30 seconds long, but it took me in total maybe around 5 to 6 hours putting it all together, transitioning it, getting the clips, color grading, and then adding sound design, which I just think gives it a whole new look. So I'm going to play it without the sound design first, and then I'm going to play it with the sound design, and you're going to let me know what you think is better. So let's go. Now I know what you're thinking, obviously the one with the sound design just sounds better, it makes you feel as if you're there, you as the audience get, you know, like pulled into it. So yeah, honestly, sound design is just so important. Okay, so you may be asking, where do you get these sounds? How do you do this? Like, how do you know what sounds to put where? Which sound will sound, you know what I mean? So again, this is just what I do. If it doesn't work for you, or if you use a different way, by all means, that's okay. There's so many different ways to do the one thing, which I just love about this. Everyone's way is probably a bit different, which is great. So the first thing that I do is when I come up with the idea, so for example with this piece, I knew it was going to take place in like a forest or beside a lake, beside the mountain, so there will be nature sounds, which is obvious. I'm actually going to grab my laptop and probably just make it easier for me to explain this, so yeah, let's go. And as you can see, this is what the sequence looks like when it's all laid out in Final Cut Pro. So as you can see, there's a whole load of different sounds. We have distant land, exhale, we have ones like the birds. So yeah, a lot of different sounds that go into this. Now where I get my sounds is from Epidemic Sounds, which is a great platform for YouTubers, or even if you're a business, you can get like different bundles, different packs, different subscriptions. You can see here, you can browse, you can go to different albums, and when you go to browse, you can get genres like hip hop, small emotions, jazz if you wanted, or you can get beats, or if you want to set the mood in a tone, which is the ones that I use for this sequence, because I knew I wanted to kind of go for like a almost dreamy, euphoric type of mood. So that's the one I went to. I used these two different moods here. If you want sound effects, you can, you know, get loads of different sound effects. Literally every sound you can think of, Epidemic Sound has it. I'm not being paid to say this, obviously. This is just one that I've been using, and it is so worth the money. You will get every sound you will possibly need, and you can download as many as you want. So here we are on Lens Distortion's page. If we go to sound effects, you'll see the different bundles and different packs that they have, which contain a lot of different sound effects for whatever you may be working on. The one that I use is Statement. And the thing about these packs is that they're split into 6 different categories. You have risers, hits, whooshes, accents, undertones, and moments. And within those categories, you get 4 different other categories. You'll be able to get a normal sound, a distortion sound, a space sound, and a silk sound. So it just gives you more variety of the different sounds. So back in my project, you'll see that we have Exhale C, we have Paradox A, we have Distant Lands. These all come from their Statement Sound Effects pack, which I cannot recommend enough. And then from Epidemic Sounds, I use sounds like, the waves, the forest, the birds, the wind. So by combining both of these resources, I have like so many different sound effects that I can choose from to fit almost any project at all. So yeah, you kind of just know what kind of look and what kind of sound you're going for. I knew there was a lot of nature, so I knew there would be a lot of nature sounds. There would be some transitions, so I knew I would need some whooshes or some hits, and then I knew I would also want some like cinematic underscores to go along with it to add that dreamy, euphoric nature kind of vibe. And obviously you had to color grade it, but sound design is what we're focusing on in this video. Yeah man, that's literally it. There's not too much to it. Once you kind of know what you're doing, what kind of feel you're going for, you will be able to find the sounds that you know you need, put them together in a way that just adds feeling. But yeah, hopefully you do use, and if you don't already use, do make sure to check out Lens Distortions and Epidemic Sound. Yeah, to be honest, I'm really happy that I did learn the importance of sound design, solely because, yeah, it does give your audience, more feeling, but also it feels good. You feel proud of your work because you know you went that extra mile to make it sound good as well as look good, and it's just very, very fulfilling. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of you have already figured out the importance of sound design, but I do see some people just, like, don't get me wrong, they have brilliant looking videos, crisp, focused, it's composed nicely, it's even color graded correctly, but there's no sound, and it just lacks that little tiny bit of detail, which will honestly bring your project from here to up here and even higher. It just really, really, really does add just a big impact. Even working with other people or other companies, if you make a video for them and you have good sound design, even they're going to be like, wow, that is just amazing, such a good job. Yeah, like hands down one of the best things you can focus on. But yeah, that is that for this kind of topic. There are more topics that I do want to talk about and my own experience again with them, such as composition, color grading, even recording audio, so many different things, which hopefully I will cover at some stage soon. Yeah, it is a banger of a day, so I'm gonna go outside, chill for a bit, come back in and do some editing, and that's pretty much my day. That is what my day mostly consists of, especially throughout this isolation period. I'm trying to learn new things, try new different techniques. One of them last night actually took me about 2 hours to follow along with like a different technique for photo editing. I haven't even got my head around it yet, but I'm just gonna sit down for a few hours and try and nail it, and then if it comes out well, obviously I'll be posting to my Instagram. So if you aren't following me on Instagram, link is down below. Do make sure to go and follow me on that. I upload way more frequently than here on YouTube. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Keep safe, keep well, keep positive, keep motivated, and we will get through all this together. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.